Okay, here's our last example of graphing a system of inequalities. So we have the same instructions here. I've made these inequalities a bit different. These are some special lines here. We don't have them in the slope-intercept form, or they're not in standard form ready for us to put them into slope-intercept form. It's simply y is less than 4, x is greater than or equal to 0. So I wanted to just do a refresher on special lines. So whatever variable you have, that's the axis you want to look at. So y is less than 4, I want to look at the y-axis at 4. That's how I'm going to start. I'm going to do this one in red. So I'm going to grab one of my red points and go to the y-axis at 4. Okay, I can choose any point that has a y value of 4. So that's not the only one. I could also choose, this one over here. The y value is still 4. I could also choose one over here. It doesn't matter as long as your y value is 4, x can be anything. So I've already plotted my points, so I can move on to my next step, which is to decide what kind of line I need. My symbol is just a less than. No equal to, just less than. So I know I need a dashed line. I'm going to put it straight across those points. So anytime you have y equals or some inequality symbol and then a number, you're going to end up with a horizontal line. Okay, it also has a slope of 0, which is why you don't have an x here, because there's 0 x. Okay, and then we need to shade, so y is less than 4. Less than is below. Let me take my rectangle, and this is going to be an easy one for shading. Just want everything below that line. Okay, there we go. This shading continues forever, but I'm just going to keep it to the square that we have. Let's look at our other equation. I'm going to do blue for this one. X is greater than or equal to 0. Since it's x, there's no y involved at all, just x. So I'm going to go to my x-axis. I'm going to go to 0 and plot a point. Well, that's the origin. Okay, I can put these other 2 points on any coordinates where x is 0. Y can be any number as long as x is 0. So that would be, for instance, down here. This is the ordered pair 0, -6. There it could be up here. Basically, it's anything that's on the y-axis. So x equals 0 would be the line of the y-axis. We have x is greater than or equal to 0. I see that there's a line on this inequality, so I need a solid line. And then for shading, well, I'm supposed to either shade above or below. So how could I shade above or below when I have a vertical line? Well, let's not think about it as above or below. Let's think about it in terms of numbers. X can be any number that is greater than or equal to 0. I already have the equal to covered. It's anything on this y-axis. Let's just think about the greater than. What are some numbers that are greater than 0? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any of these numbers over here. The negatives are not greater than 0, so I don't want to include these. I only want to include the positive numbers. So I need to shade on the right-hand side. These are the numbers that are greater than 0. Okay, we are done with the shading. Look at this big old purple area I have. And this part is a purple line. It's a solid line. So I could also choose points from there when I'm listing out possible solutions. So I'm going to go ahead and choose one from there. I could choose the origin, everyone's favorite point. 0, 0. It's on a solid line, but it is shaded both red and blue. Okay, let's find one more. How about 2, 2. That is within the purple area. It's shaded from both inequalities. Again, there's an infinite amount of points that we could choose from. I just chose a couple. And that's all there is to graphing inequalities. This is the only method we're going to use to solve a system of inequalities.